What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over some pickaxes that have an advantage over other style of pickaxes because of what changed in the most recent update. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below how you would like this to be addressed. We'll kind of get to that later on in the video. Also, if you're watching this once it's been out for a while, I think it's definitely possible this has already been fixed because Epic is typically on top of this sort of stuff. And this all kind of centers around the pickaxe trick that you can do to use your pickaxe inside of vehicles to hit enemy players inside the vehicle. And if you guys were unaware, this is something that's been in the game for as long as Cars has. So basically like 5 years now, or going on 5 years now. It's been in the game for a very, very, very long time. And my thought process on this has always been that if Epic didn't want it in the game, it probably would have been removed by now. Especially even in Chapter 5, we had an entire car-centric season, and even going into that or during that season, this was not addressed. So I always just kind of looked at it as something that Epic was okay with because it was very well known, very publicized within the community, talked about, I wouldn't say often, but it was talked about a good amount to the point where Epic should be aware of it. They're usually aware of less significant bugs than this, right? So with this week's update, a lot of players thought they finally fixed it and that you were no longer able to do this and thought that this had been patched. However, it still works with certain pickaxes or certain styles of pickaxes. Obviously, I didn't test this for every single pickaxe in the game because that would take an absurd amount of time, and I don't even own every pickaxe. But based on what I've tested and what I've, tried to figure out and what I've seen the community post about this as well, it seems like the dual wield pickaxes and the pickaxes that only require one of your character's hands still allow you to do the pickaxe trick. So the default pickaxe, for example, your character has both their hands on the same pickaxe. That style of pickaxe, this no longer works for. If you have a dual wield pickaxe, so one pickaxe in each hand, or just a pickaxe where it only occupies one hand, then you can still do this after the most recent Sabrina Carpenter update. And so that is why these types of pickaxes have an advantage. So for now, I would definitely recommend using either a dual wield pickaxe or one of the smaller pickaxes that only takes one hand. If you are someone that wants to do the pickaxe trick and take advantage of the pickaxe trick, because if that is something that you want to do and that you know how to do, then using one of these pickaxes is going to give you a gameplay advantage. And that is something that typically Fortnite does not let stay for long. And that's why I was saying earlier in the video that I expect this to get patched relatively soon. And if you're watching this after it's been out for like a day or two, it might already be fixed if they're very on top of things. There's been times in the past where there's been random advantages for cosmetic items. The Star Wand pickaxe in Chapter 1 Season X, I believe, randomly with an update was doing like 80 damage to the player's head. Like you could get criticals with it for some reason. And it was just that pickaxe randomly on that update. Nothing changed with it. And they ended up fixing it relatively quickly, or at least making it to where you can't use that anymore. That's like one of the ways they typically address these type of things is they make it to where those items can't be used until the bug has been resolved. I don't know if they'll end up doing that with this problem because the pickaxe trick isn't as widespread as some of these other issues we've had in the past. And then it would also require them to disable like an entire style of cosmetic. Every dual wield pickaxe, every single handheld pickaxe would have to be temporarily disabled until the bug has been resolved. So my kind of expectation for how this will go is that they'll probably just kind of let it slide until the next update. But as I've already said a few times, if they fix it sooner, it wouldn't surprise me too much. But I think this will be around for like a week at least. And so using these dual pickaxes will give you somewhat of an advantage. If you don't know how this is done, the way the pickaxe trick is done in Fortnite is you have to swing your pickaxe as you're entering a car and keep the swing button held. A lot of people look at this and they're like, oh, I just can't get the timing right. I always mess it up. There's not really much of a timing to get right. It's not like you need to hit swing and get in the car at the exact same time. You just need the swing button held. So you have to have your pickaxe out, have swing held, and then get in the car and keep that button held the entire time. And then look at the person in the car you want to pickaxe. If you release the button, if you release your swing button, it's not going to work. It's going to stop working and you're going to need to get out of the car and go back in. So Again, just simplified terms. Hold swing, get in car, look at person, keep swing held the entire time. It doesn't matter if you've been swinging your pickaxe for 10 minutes or a quarter of a second when you get in the car. All that matters is pickaxe is out, the button is held when you get in the car, and then you look at the person, obviously. So there's not much timing to it. It's hold one button, tap another, and then look at the person in the car you want to pickaxe. I feel like it's not that difficult to execute. Personally, I like having it in the game as some sort of counterplay to cars, and I know there's a lot of people, there's probably people in the comments right now typing that they hate this and they want it removed from the game. And I look at those people like they just want to only be in their car running all game. It's like one of the few counters we have to somebody running away in a car. And it's also not that lethal because your pickaxe hits for 20 damage at a time. And this is one of those things where, like, once you're aware it's a thing, you should really never be losing to it because you could just get out of the car, shoot the person that's in your car. And if they don't get out fast enough, then you have a really easy time getting headshots on them. Like me personally, if I'm driving my car around and I approach an enemy, most of the time I'm hoping they go for this just so I can get out and shoot them and get those easy headshots. Like, playing into the pickaxe trick, I don't find to be difficult at all. I get where someone who doesn't know that it's a thing could, you know, be confused by it or be caught off guard by it. But once you're aware that it's a thing, it really shouldn't be that hard to play against. And as I kind of already touched on, I think that you should have to worry about things like this. Like, I don't think getting a car should just mean that you have no problems until they're able to, like, deteriorate the health on it. Like, I use cars a lot, but also if cars were much more fragile and much weaker and much less of a just like fight preventing item, I would be in favor of that. And I'm someone who uses them a lot. So I'm in favor of having something like this in the game. Also, just in general, I like having tricks like this or like pieces of knowledge that like can make an impact on your gameplay, and like knowing those things gives you somewhat of an advantage. To me, like stuff like that has always been interesting. I started playing multiplayer shooters in COD 4. The COD 4 AK-47 for some reason did extra damage if you had no attachments on it. If you put attachments on it, it was weaker for some reason. Who knows why? There is guns in Modern Warfare 2 that like got extra damage with certain sights, like the holographic sight did extra damage on the M16, I believe. There's a lot of little things like that that didn't make sense, but like knowing those little things was like neat and nice to know. And I always kind of looked at the pickaxe trick as like that. I don't think it's that hard to execute, but knowing it and using it correctly in certain situations would help you eliminate opponents or get wins in sometimes where maybe you wouldn't. As for what's going to change, like I said, I expect them to fix this. I really don't know if they intentionally tried to remove this and just messed up and didn't remove it from every style of pickaxe, or if it just randomly broke on certain pickaxes. And that's kind of informs what we should expect, because either they messed up and didn't take it on all of them, or they messed up and took it out on some of them. Like, we don't really know what Epic's goal was. And this isn't something that like anyone will probably publicly address and just tell us. My kind of expectation is that they will just remove the pickaxe trick entirely. They'll remove it from the dual wield ones or remove it from the single use ones. Whether or not they intended to remove it in the first place, I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm expecting. It's just that it will be gone completely. But we will have to see when the time comes. I fully don't expect it to just stay like this permanently. That would be the most surprising to me, is if just from now until the end of the time, dual wield pickaxes and single hand pickaxes just constantly gave you this advantage. I definitely think it's something that will be kind of like visited and resolved in some way. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more. Comment down below how you would like this to be resolved, whether you would like it to stay, like go back to how it was, or if they just completely removed the pickaxe trick. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.